And I want to tell you something, if I may. One of the General Association regular Baptist churches, colleges that they use, and I'm not going to tell you where it's at. I called the president of the Bible college about 4 years ago, and I said, "Sir, let me send you my book on predestination, because every one of the General Association Bible colleges or regular Baptist churches are predestinationalists, and I know that because I talked to every one of their presidents." I called Cedarville College. I said, "You got Dr. David Nettleton's book there. Put mine in there that refutes him." "Well, you don't want to make waves." That's funny. So I called another Bible college. This was the last one on my list. I talked to the man. He said, "Pastor Younce," he said, "we do not believe in predestination. The man that was here, who happened to be Dr. David Nettleton prior to me, left this Bible college in a mess. Period." I talked to him. I said, "You know what?" I said, "That's sort of interesting, sir. Because," I said, "he's projected as one of the great spiritual leaders in the organization." Baloney. Well, we had a little conversation there. I said, "You know what, sir? I appreciate your stand." I said, "Do you have any predestinationalist teaching at your college?" Well, he says, and to make a long story short, he called me back about 2 weeks later. You know what he said to me? I feel sorry for the man. He said, "Pastor Younce, please don't pass it around. And we don't make an issue now of predestination. Please don't repeat what I've said, because, you know," he says, "we just don't want to make waves out here." I said to him very kindly, very gently, I said, "You know what, sir? I feel sorry for you as a Bible college president. I really do. You are looked upon as to be a leader, and you are teaching your students not to compromise on the Word of God, are you not? Because of your position and fear of being fired, sir, you will not stand against predestination, which is a damnable doctrine, and you won't do it because you're afraid. You would rather maintain your position and your status quo as being called a Bible college president." I said, "Sir, I'm not saying this disrespectful for you, but I think your conscience ought to eat you up, because you cannot stand as the Bible college president upon your own convictions, and yet you're trying to get your students to follow what you yourself don't have the backbone to do." Now, maybe I shouldn't tell you that, because we're supposed to keep that under the cuff. We're not supposed to talk about the real world. We're supposed to look at some of this phony baloney that goes on. And I want to tell you something. I have pastors who pastor a church of 40 and 50 I respect more than Bible college presidents who are the president of a Bible college with 3,000 to 5,000, because you don't know what's behind the scenes. I do, because I talk to them. I know where they stand, and only on the surface will they take a stand. Behind the scenes, they compromise with hiring teachers who do promote a false doctrine, and they don't have the guts enough to let them go, because, number one, if I'm a Bible college that supports that organization and I take a stand against predestination, I'm going to lose the support of them sending their students to my Bible college. So consequently, how am I going to be a successful president of a Bible college unless I have all the students come in? So we're not going to make an issue about that, because I would rather maintain my status quo as Bible college president. You know what I say to that? I'll tell you what, friend. When the judgment seat of Christ comes, you're at the end of the line, partner. And the little guy pastoring a church in the boondocks who doesn't compromise on anything is going to be right way ahead of you. You're going to be so far back, it's going to be funny. Don't always walk by sight, folks, until you really get to know the ins and outs of some of these things here. You just be faithful where God's called you. Daniel never compromised, and he doesn't want you to. If you'll start laying a few of these principles down in your life,